Hello YouTube, this is theSventos coming to you from the Tesseract. And today I'm gonna be reviewing episode 3 of the shit show abomination, that is Lower Decks. So let's get right into this. I'm just gonna kind of skip. So we start off with Boimler doing a river dance. Then that this stupid piece of shit shows up and starts blasting away on the bass guitar, and she joins her with the drums, which annoys the crap out of everyone on the ship, and also the you can see him here, the Klingons and the bird of prey that's in contact with the Dorito, whatever the hell the name of the ship is. And then first off, wow, you missed a whole pip. So this is supposed to be a lieutenant commander, not a lieutenant senior grade, which is, let's just go back to, he's supposed to be a lieutenant commander. He was a lieutenant commander in the last episode. Anyway, so he shows up and he snaps the violin in half and tells Boimler he's causing all sorts of shit. And of course, because Boimler is a white male, he's just supposed to be taking shit because of that stupid bitch. Whatever her, Mariner, I think is her name. Anyway, then we get into the freaking credits of the disgusting stupidity. Then there's a first officer's log where he says that they're going to Cardassia Prime for some peace negotiation thing, and then they get a message saying that it's been cancelled and moved to Vulcan, and they're off that tasking. And the captain is pissed. She throws her pad at the view screen, and while she's talking with the admiral, finding out all this about the reassignment, what was the wording that they use? It was so cringy. It's not 24th century. It's freaking contemporary. Like, what, are you kidding me? Kind of crap. Anyway, and I just realized that this character back here sort of looks semi-Klingon. Anyway, so the captain's upset. She's like, we're a joke, and then this stupid cow. So like the main four ensigns, they're testing the brig. There's been some diagnostics or whatever they're doing, and she takes out a phaser and shoots at Boimler, who is in the brig behind a force field for some reason, and she shoots right at him with a phaser set to kill, because, you know, why not? Then we move on to, oh, we've completed our task. Let's have some margaritas and drink while on duty. So they're drinking some margaritas because it's buffer time. You always do buffer time. It's a Lower Decks tradition. No, it's not. No, it really isn't. The only time buffer time was ever used was when Scotty would tell Kirk that it would take longer to do something, and then he would get the job done real quick so that Kirk would think he's a miracle worker. And it was just sort of like an inside thing there. And Scotty only basically told that particular thing to LaForge in Relics, and that was literally where they're getting this. No one ever used buffer time. It was literally just something that Scotty made up, and he didn't goof off when he had a job to do. He would make it look like he's a miracle worker, and he would move on to the next task. It wasn't this bullshit crap. Anyway, so the Orion girl, she starts misusing the buffer time as well, and tells the doctor that it would take like 5 hours to fix something, the biobed, which makes absolutely no sense in any sense of the word, because you could probably build a brand new biobed for less than 5 hours. Anyway, so they're all just goofing off. Oh, one thing I never understood. So she and Boimler, they have the black with the red boots. The engineer guy has the black with yellow boots, but for some reason hers are white. I just thought that was kind of weird, because like she doesn't have additional white anywhere except for this strip, but they all have that strip. So it might be some like medical thing, although you would not have those kinds of boots because it's stupid. They look like freaking sneakers. Actually, no, they look like gum boots. Anyway, stupid uniform design. So then the captain starts hearing about this buffer time because she's walking down the corridor and people are just sauntering slowly down, not doing any work. She stops by freaking like a 10 forward or whatever, like a bar thing, and everyone's just drinking on the job. No one's doing anything, and then finally Boimler blurts out something about buffer time, and he tells her that everyone's been inflating their estimates and they're not doing their work. And then the captain institutes this you're gonna do the job in the time allotted, and you will report when you've done the job. You know, like you're supposed to. I don't see anything wrong with that. Like, you're on a freaking Starfleet starship. You're supposed to be efficient Starfleet, you know, officers. But anyway, so they all freak out. They're all like, "Oh, there goes our buffer time." Blah, blah, blah. And Boimler is the only one that's actually, okay with that, because he's like, you know what, I'm gonna, do my best to do all this work, and I'm gonna accomplish my job. Then, of course, everyone starts freaking out because they're all incompetent nincompoops who have no idea how to do anything on this goddamn ship, because it's not like you spend 4 years at Starfleet Academy learning everything you're supposed to be doing, and it's not like you're, learning all the specializations and inner workings of ships and all that kind of stuff. And I have no idea what the hell she is doing in the middle of a corridor. She is science biomedical, so she should be in sickbay or a science lab. What the hell are you doing walking around the ship? This guy, I don't know what the hell he's doing, because he is command. He should be, well, I mean, command positions usually entail doing personnel evaluations, so he should either be supervising, or also we've seen Worf wearing the red uniform when he was strategic operations officer, so he should be on the bridge or in an office somewhere working on reports. I don't know why he's doing engineering work. Anyway, this guy is getting drained, even though in the previous episode he was like a top-notch engineer and could do anything. And there's this bitch. Boimler is just going about doing his work, and he's just taking it easy and getting the job done in the allotted time, because he's actually a good officer. See, smiling, has upbeat personality about the work, because he actually enjoys being there, enjoys serving on a starship, and enjoys doing the work that he was hired to do. First officer freaking out. This bitch doing something. I have no idea. I don't care. So these guys are going on an away mission, I think. Yeah, they're going on an away mission. None of them want to be there. They're all tired and exhausted, because why the hell would we do the work? She starts being all, bitchy and annoying again. These guys are all broing out, so they're going to deliver this trinket to these inhabitants as a peace offering or whatever. And because these guys are all obsessed with crystals, they're supposed to be returning this like historically significant artifact, which is a crystal, which turns out to be a actually going on it. Well, it turns out to be a log. Anyway, let me see. No, anyway, it turns out to be a log. Just like a piece of wood. So these spear chucking aliens get all pissy and declare war on them. And of course, you know, the only bully in the team, he gets shot with an arrow or with a spear. They start to get cornered, and of course, Mariner is just a piece of shit. And when they get captured, she just starts. Oh god, this scene was so freaking cringy. She just starts uh, she starts member berrying about the original series. She mentions Gary Mitchell. She mentions actually no, Gary Mitchell was in a previous one. She just like mentions Kirk and the Gorn. What is this? The 2260s. Yeah, freaking hate her. She is so annoying. I wish they would all just stab her to death with those spears. Back on the ship, everyone's freaking out. Shit's going sideways. These guys, I have no idea why is this pad plugged in? There has never been any sort of physical connection required with the pad. They're all wireless, and the computer can just download and transfer data to it wirelessly. So they're all freaking out. Captain is exhausted because all of these bastards are, I mean, like, this guy is just sort of standing around. I don't even know what the hell you have to do at an environment console right now, because nothing's changing. But basically, the captain is all freaked out because she's doing all of the work herself, and she's running around from console to console. Then the spear chucker guys all of a sudden have spaceships, yet they chuck spears as weapons. I don't freaking know. So they just start going on board the ship, and these guys are all ignoring them because, oh, we're too busy doing the work to defend the ship. So the spear chuckers just like they take over a freaking ship. Meanwhile, the away team has been captured, and they're in a cell, and these two start going at it. The first officer actually starts calling out this bitch for rolling out the sleeves, always unbuttoning her uniform, and all that kind of stuff, which has been annoying me for the past 3 episodes. So he finally calls her out on it and says that she's an insubordinate piece of shit. And they find out that they're gonna have to, one of them is gonna have to go into the ring and battle this, you know, big warrior guy. So they start fighting over who's gonna go in there because bravado and all that bullshit. And yeah, that's the big guy they have to go fight. And they go like, you know, I'm gonna do it, blah 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 blah. And actually, does it happen right now? Oh, not yet. Meanwhile, the spear chucky guys have started graffitiing the ship. I mean, okay. And yeah, he translates, and apparently it's some nasty words. So he grabs a phaser and starts cleaning the graffiti. And he's like, oh, you know what? I have a phaser. I can just shoot you. So he actually ends up like shooting a bunch of these guys and disabling them. Meanwhile, the captain's all, yeah, exhausted. He comes to the bridge to report that he's done all his work because he's just, you know, competent. And he finds out that she's also on that schedule that she has to do this stuff, and no one else is doing the work, so she has to do it all by herself. And what I found was really interesting is everyone that was actually no, that happens later, the defending in the ship. Anyway, so we get back to the cell. These bastards are still in the cell, still battling who's gonna do what. And she starts showing off her scars, which are just totally retarded. And of course, because she is Mariner, she has to take her clothes off. So he starts calling her out on her bullshit. They get into a heated argument, and he oh, hang on, I want to show you guys this. No. Let's see, where's the mo? Okay, that's a good screenshot to show. So he finally gets fed up and he stabs her in the foot. I'm like, why couldn't you aim a little higher? Finally shut her up, because she's a super annoying character and just really wish that she wasn't in the show. So he finally shuts her up and then goes out and fights the big guy. And of course, because he's a strong guy, he actually ends up defeating the big guy. That was actually a pretty decent scene. My favorite moment was where he stabs Mariner in the foot. So, as you can see here, the alien crystal spear chucker dudes have graffitied the outside of the ship as well, because I don't exactly know. Like that's just... Anyway. So Boimler tells the captain that they have to relax the protocols a little bit because people are freaking out and they can't, multitask. So she's like, okay, we're gonna relax that and go defend the ship now. So everyone starts going and defending the ship against these dudes. These guys are still fighting. He defeats the guy. They make a deal that they're free to go. And these guys are all fighting in hand-to-hand combat and using freaking pads. Like, are you kidding me? You're using pads. Okay, you know what these are? Back here, I mean, we've seen them in the Next Generation movies. We've seen them when they go on a war footing, or like red alert is declared, those things flip around, and there is phasers back there. Those are weapon lockers. Why don't you use freaking phasers? Boimler is the only one in the entire episode using a phaser to fire at the enemy. No, you'd rather destroy a pad. So they actually end up defending the ship with the pads. And oh look, now they're all using phasers to clean the hull from graffiti. I mean, you could literally just go into a starbase and sweep that all away in a single baryon sweep. But anyway, so these douchebags finally deliver the actual crystal, and everything is good and peachy now, and now they're all friends. And Mariner is back in sickbay getting patched up, and the doctor asks her, do you want me to fix up all your scars? And she's all like, no, they're patches, blah, 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 blah. And I actually laughed when I saw this scene because, well, the doctor says something. Let me see if I can play it. Just make sure that it actually plays.
Scratching post.
Okay. We'll just So
You'll
they're
be
cleaning
fine.
up the ship.
Want me to clean up those disgusting scars?
No way. No, these are my trophies.
Congratulations, you look like a scratching post.
I like that, because yeah, she calls her out for her stupidity. Anyway, and then what happens next? Now they have an understanding, and blah 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 blah. Stupid. She gets pissy again, and yeah. And then Boimler comes back to the captain in the ready room, and she's all like, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna name a protocol after you. It's gonna be the what the heck was it? The Boimler effect or something like that, where just like slack off and do the buffer time." So basically, once again, Boimler gets denigrated for being a competent officer because, oh, let's call this lazy ass protocol after you, the exact opposite of what you are. But hey, he's a white male, so why not denigrate him? Stupidity, stupidity, and they even put it on a plaque, the Boimler effect. And then we get to this scene that's like in a distant future where we even have a little Borg child and a bunch of Ferengi. Like, I love how the Ferengi outnumber the humans here. There's like one human back here. I think the teacher might be human as well. Actually, okay, so there's 2 humans, 2 Ferengi, a Borg, a cat person, and an Andorian. And what's really interesting here is they're all kneeling at the little learning displays, and the teacher is teaching at the front there, and they're out in the greenery. This scene is ripped right out of the opening act of Serenity. Like, you can go watch Serenity. They even have like holographic display things of planets and all that kind of stuff. It's ripped exactly right out of there, and I don't know why they're kneeling. I mean, they did in the Serenity thing, they were kneeling, so that's why they're kneeling. But like in Starfleet, they wouldn't be kneeling. And then we get to like, yeah, they're learning about Boimler and the Boimler effect, and they have the eagle on his shoulder, and they're literally just like belittling him. And then of course we have to get the member berries again, and she's like, okay, let's now learn about someone else, and it happens to be Miles O'Brien. And then we get into the stupid actually, did they actually show? Yeah, okay, so, and I don't get this. So this is obviously a hologram. Like, it was Boimler, then it changed to O'Brien. So why is it golden? It's a hologram. You can simulate textures, you can do any of that kind of stuff. So why is it golden? Why don't you just have like a real life, you can have him even be interactive as a hologram, you can have him say something, but you can have him look real. Anyway, so yeah, on oh god, I really freaking hate this show. Just another way to demean and belittle Boimler. The crew of the freaking Dorito is so lazy, it's so retarded, and honestly, I really wish that the next episode started with a Borg cube assimilating all of them and then blowing up, because if they assimilated the Dorito crew, they would die because the intelligence quotient of the collective would drop by like 50,000 points. These people should not be in Starfleet. They should be in charge of a garbage scow. They should not be in charge of an exploratory vessel. So, CBS All Access, go fuck yourself. Stop making this garbage. Okay, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm kind of getting a headache from remembering these moments, so I will go and watch the next episode so I can do another review video, because they're piling up now. There's already episode 5 is out, and I've been out of the loop for a little while, so I have to go and watch episode 4, do the review, and then watch episode 5 and do the review. So, make sure you like the video, make sure you click down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure the bell notification is on because YouTube is just being a shit show right now. And make sure you also comment and tell me your thoughts and feelings about this episode. What is it? Temporal Edict or whatever the hell it was called. Until next time, I have been theSventos, you have been watching the Tesseract, and have a, I don't know, good evening, good night, good morning, depending on where the hell you are. Until next time, live long and prosper.